Hi everybody, it's Monday and welcome to Devotions. I hope all is good with you. You know, Jesus was once teaching from a boat. It was just a little bit away from the shore, and he was kind of edged into the water because of all the crowd, so he hopped into a boat. And when he finished teaching, he said to the men in the boat, he says, "Come on, let's go and catch some fish." These were the words that he used. It said, when he had finished speaking, he said to Simon, "Put out into the deep water and let down the nets for a catch." Simon answered, "Master, we've worked hard all night and haven't caught anything. But because you say so, I will let down the nets." And when they had finished their fishing expedition, it said they caught such a large number of fish that their nets began to break. Isn't that wonderful? And it's a message to us. Jesus said to Simon, "Push out into the deep water. Go deeper with me." And in following Jesus, he calls us to go deeper. So how do we go deeper? I want to show you something here. This is a certificate that Priscilla and I got. We went, I know it's back to front because of the way it's being filmed, but this is a certificate. Once we went on an ocean trip. We were going to visit our daughter up in Guernsey, and then we thought we'd do something special. So we went on this little trip. It was up the coast of Norway, right up into the Arctic Circle. On the way back, we hit this massive, massive storm. And the boat wasn't all that big. And the noise that this boat made as it hit the waves was incredible. Well, we got the certificate for going through the storm. And we were told this, that the waves were 9 meters high. And the speed of the wind was 140 kilometers an hour. We had to trust that boat in the deep water, and we came through. Well, going deeper with Jesus means being willing to trust him more, to trust him with every single part of your life. It can start in a small way when we are younger Christians, but as we get further along the road, we have to trust him with more and more and more. And the wonderful thing is that he can handle everything. So the first thing that this little passage teaches us about being a disciple of Jesus is go deeper. And we go deeper by trusting him for more and more of our lives. And then he said, let down the nets for a catch. And the disciples, as they were to become, said, "But we've been fishing all night. We've caught absolutely nothing. What you're telling us to do is ridiculous. It doesn't make sense. It's impossible. There are no fish out there." "But," said Simon, "because you say so, I will let down the nets." Because Jesus says so, do it. And sometimes Jesus calls us to do the unreasonable and the impossible. "Go on," says Jesus. "Give them that 500 rand, even if you can't afford it, because they need it even more than you do." Or, "Yes, go and forgive that person who has hurt you so badly, who has taken so much away from you." That's unreasonable. It's impossible. He says, go and visit that person. I know she's a difficult old lady, but she needs your love. Oh, Lord. Take on what Jesus says. Do the impossible. Do the unreasonable. What is impossible with human beings is possible with God. And we see it over and over in Jesus' life. We see him facing 5,000 people with 5 loaves and 2 fish. And he says, "Everybody sit down, we're going to eat." I love the story about George Muller. Very famous. I've just finished listening to an audio book about him, where he prayed for the impossible. God told him he believed to ask for no money. He was going to build orphanages. And in the end, he built six. And he never asked anybody for a penny. And yet every single need of those orphanages was met. God did the impossible. And then the last thing that Jesus said would happen is, let down the nets for a catch. And they did. And the result was such a wonderful catch they couldn't even fit it into the boat. And so with us as well. As we go deeper with Jesus, as we trust him for more and more, even the impossible sometimes, we then discover the blessings and the life and the fruitfulness that comes from being a follower of Jesus. Go on. Try the impossible. May God go with you as you do. Bye for now.